The next series of maps presents the conflict between the Israelis and Palestinians in the larger context of history. It's an example of how maps can help reveal both when and where if you're using all of the features. It's important that we use the titles here because each of them lets us know when we are talking about. The map on the left dates all the way back to almost 3,000 years ago to the original Hebrew kingdom. Students may even recognize the names of Solomon and David. Keep in mind that since these dates are in BC or BCE, that's the negative part of the timeline, like a negative number line, the larger numbers are actually further back in history. So 970 BC came before 930 BC. David's original kingdom is actually a bit larger than the dotted kingdom of Solomon that's located just here. But what you may notice is that it overlaps very closely with this drawn-in line of present-day Israel in the 1960s and 70s. Then you have the British Mandate. This is the time period when Palestine was ruled by the British between 1920 at the end of World War I and 1948 at the end of World War II. During this time period, most of this yellow land represents areas where primarily Muslims lived. This is the Palestinian area. And yet, even then, Jews were beginning to move back to the Holy Land. Once the Holocaust took place during World War II, Jews and others around the world thought it was more important than ever for them to have a Holy Land of their own that they could be safe on and feel protected. That's why the UN proposed the partition in 1947. They wanted to give the Jews a country, and they decided to use this area that had belonged to them back in the biblical times and where many Jews had begun to settle. The maps on the right represent the same ones you looked at earlier, but in a slightly simplified version. The second time you're looking at this type of information, once you have some context, it should be easier to make sense of it.